is when you point something out that really is irrelevant to a person, like, oh my god, your skin is so like much darker than da da da.
I don't know, when somebody persecutes somebody because of their race, because I'm black and whatever else I am, and you don't like that. You don't like that I'm black. You want to be like, you want to like do things to me or like be rude to me or be disrespectful to me because of my race, and there's nothing you can do about nothing you can do about it.
I don't really say too much.
Well, if I'm being targeted, I would, you know, tell them that it's not okay, that, that we're all people and that we're all the same, and, we shouldn't discriminate or hurt each other just because of the color of our skin, like, we all have feelings.
Ignore it, maybe?
It'll depend on the circumstances, because if I didn't know that person and if I'm going about my day or whatever, and if it's just an argument and if it's not physical, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
They could either speak up about it and tell them if it's wrong or right, if they is okay with it or not, or they could just let it be. But most people should say something if it's degrading somebody else from a different background, culture, color.
Well, I don't really deal with race. I don't really have a lot of no, ain't nobody gonna come up to me like, oh, you nigger, you black. I'd be like, what? We're not in the whatever, 30s, 50s, whatever. I don't know. We ain't in those times. So if I do get it, it'll be little comments. Oh, black people do this, black people do that, and then at the same time, a lot of black people fit their own stereotypes. So a lot of times you can't be like, oh, no black people do that because some of them do.
I think it comes from an individual, usually by, I would say mostly television.
I'm not sure. I don't really know where racism comes from. I don't think anyone knows where racism comes from. It always happened. I think it really happened because somebody didn't like how somebody else somebody didn't like how somebody else looked, or somebody didn't like how people because people don't like things that are different. You know what I mean? People don't like people so if you're different than that person, then people are very ignorant, so they're not going to understand. And people don't try to understand. That's the thing that I really get irritated about. Is not that you don't understand. It's that you don't try to understand. And that's what really irritates me.
Probably from their parents or from someone who is racist.
I think it's really our environment, and how we were raised and how we were brought up, because we're always faced with a lot of stereotypes, and we learn these through our families, through school, just through people that we interact with. We hear about these stereotypes all the time, and I guess we can't help but have those in our set in our brains already. Yeah, I guess it's just human nature, I guess. But yeah, we learn about these through family and and through our environment.
I think there's a lot of fears. I think in the African American culture that they use racism to get jobs. For example, a black person wouldn't want to get a job just because they feel as though they're going to get neglected. They're going to get shut down just because of the color of their skin. So they use that, and instead of searching for jobs and trying to do something positive, they just say, oh, well, the white man's not going to let me get a job, so I might as well just hustle. I might as well sell drugs. I might as well do something of that nature.
I don't know, in most of the neighborhoods, they're pretty, segregated. In the public housing, there's, mostly African Americans and, minorities. But, in the houses, it's, more white people. So I don't see how, racism, really, like gets together because we're kind of still segregated. So.
Well, there's no trust in community because a lot of things, not just racism. Like, people don't like each other because of their status, like because you're rich or whatever, and because I don't got poor, or because I'm middle class, like people aren't gonna like you. Like if you ain't got nothing, and you have this friend who gets everything, like you're gonna have like you automatically you're gonna have feelings towards it. It might not be good, it might not be bad, but that brings feelings to people. Like, oh, like she has all this stuff and I don't have anything. Like that, how does that make me feel? That doesn't make me feel good. And it's not that she deserves it, and it's not that I deserve being poor. But at the same time, it's like we're all just put in these situations. Like we don't choose to be poor, we don't choose to be rich, but it just happens, and then that's why people get so mad about it.
Yeah, go to local rallies and just have your voice be heard.
People are gonna have their own opinions about people. People are gonna have their own things about people and about their race. Like it's gonna happen. Like we can do is like make it so like it's like the stereotypes that we have towards each other. We can talk about them and like come to a resolution, come to a resolve about it, and be like, okay, maybe some people do this, maybe some people do that, but don't judge me just because of one person.
They can start putting it in the education system and start teaching everybody that everybody could be treated equally, no matter the color of your skin. We are just as good as the next person from a different race.